And hello, fight fans. Kevin Elias. Welcome back. It's 4Dice Wrestling. And today we bring you the first ever video and summertime event for 4Dice Wrestling, the Quick Play game. We're going to have a 4-fight event to show you how the Quick Play version of 4Dice Wrestling operates. Again, with 4Dice Pro Wrestling, there are three games in one. There's the Quick Play version that we're going to show you here in just a moment. There's the mini main event version, which is an abbreviated part of the entire full game. And of course, there's the full play version of 4Dice Pro Wrestling. So we've got a 4-fight card. What you're going to need for this game, obviously the charts and the wrestlers and the ratings, but you're going to need dice, a 10, 20, 30-sided dice along with D6s, which you can have in person live or you can go online to get them. Included in the instructions for 4Dice Wrestling, we give you some websites to go to for some virtual dice rollers. I'm going to be using the ball roller here today because our 4 wrestling matches are all with wrestlers rated from the main event, but not the championship event card on down. And then, of course, you will need a deck of playing cards, and we have a virtual deck of playing cards that we'll be using for this match. But the matches go quickly. It can be resolved in maybe 1 roll per wrestler, up to 4 rolls per wrestler per game. So matches can be resolved in literally a couple of minutes at the most. So as you can see with our poster, 4Dice Pro Wrestling Quick Play Hot Summer Event, 4Dice, the main event today will be California Comet Wilbur Snyder taking on Bam Bam Terry Gordy. So let's get to it. So let's go ahead and show you the score sheet. Here's what the score sheet's going to look at like. We can put all 4 matches on one sheet. We like to do it in Excel. If you get the 4Dice Quick Play game, or you have the regular version of the game and you've bought the monthly supplements, the Quick Play version will be included in one of the months. But we have the PDF versions, and we always give you the Excel version so you can actually do your score sheets right on there. But the first match we have scheduled is Beautiful Body Don Arnold taking on Skull Murphy. Now, if you look at the ratings here, Don Arnold is a 35, Skull Murphy is a 27. A little bit of a disparity, but we'll see how that plays out. Surge, and you're looking at a surge of 2 for each. 2 for each. And in parentheses are their fan ratings. They have a fan rating that could affect a pre- or post-match event. So that can always come into play. You get some unusual events happening, and of course creates nice storylines. But let's get to it. Beautiful Body, Don Arnold against Skull Murphy. Let's look at the main chart for the Quick Play version. It comes in one chart, very simple. It looks complex. It may look confusing at first, but we're going to go right over it. Again, here's how your wrestlers are rated in 4Dice Wrestling. 40 plus are your world champions. Those are at the top of the list that have obviously won world titles in various federations, usually at the highest level, or better yet, they have great winning records when their win-loss percentage. Then there's those that are main event wrestlers, 30 to 39. They could be former world champions, indeed, but they could be fighters that really have been at the pinnacle, but their record may not reflect an overwhelming wow factor. Or they could be a great main event wrestler who won some titles at the top level, but not necessarily world titles. And then there's the up-and-coming wrestlers, the guys that are mid-carders and occasional main eventers. They have a 20 to 29 rating, and they'll roll on a 12-sided dice. And your teens are usually your jobbers, those that are rated under 20. They're generally between 16 and 19. They're your jobbers, your perennial losers. This is the dice that you're going to use for them in 4-dice quick play. You're going to take these dice that you're using, you're going to roll those, add it to their rating, their wrestling rating, and that will ultimately give you a score for the match. Okay? And if you get the score for the match, then you're going to look on the appropriate chart to see the time limit and see what is the differential and where that falls, because that will determine the type of match win it is. And then you'll refer to that particular chart for the final outcome. The fun of quick play edition is this, okay? Each wrestler, again, has a certain die that they're rolling. If they get the top number, it's a chance for the automatic finisher win. Obviously, a 40-rated fighter is rolling a 30-sided die. If he rolls a 30, boom, he gets a shot at it. That's where playing cards come into play, and you flip a card. In this case, if you flip the card and it's a face card, it's a jack, queen, or king, automatically the finisher. He gets his finisher, boom, match over. All right, and you go on down the line. Obviously, the chances of a lower-rated wrestler winning with a finisher move are not as great. So you got to look at it. You say, draw a card, boom, you hit it. Does that mean they win? No. They have to, again, roll for the win. There's where the roll comes into play, getting back to that 30, 20, 12, and 10-sided. You roll it, and you see if they hit it, boom, it's over. If they get within those numbers, within that variance. If they don't hit it, they get the points. They still get the points on their die, which in this case would be 30, 20, 12, or 10, and they pick up another 5 points over here for dominating but not getting to hook the finisher for the win. So, while it may not be good that they get the automatic win, it still goes into play because it builds on their point scores for the end of the match. So let's get to it. Let's start it. First match, again, as we mentioned, is going to be Don Arnold versus Skull Murphy. Now, what do we need for this? Don Arnold is a 30, 35. Skull Murphy's a 27. So let's go back to our chart. What are we looking at here? Okay. Don Arnold will use the 20-sided die. Okay, in this case, it will be the blue die. And let's just make sure we got the blue die here. That's the roll. The blue die here for the 20-sided die, which is going to be the blue die base. It should show there. We're going to show it. We're good to go. So it's going to be this blue die here for Don Arnold. And his opponent, Skull Murphy, is a 27. So he's going to be using a 12-sided die. In this case, we're going to be looking at the green. So green's going to represent Skull Murphy. The blue will represent Don Arnold. All right. The black here is going to be the timing mechanism. We're going to look and see the time of the match, which we're going to roll for first. Then we're going to see what the red result is, because that's going to represent the power surge. Remember, wrestlers in 4-dice wrestling each have these power surge stars. So what do they represent? Well, they represent points in the quick play version. Points that are going to be added to their score in the match, and we'll get to that right next. And then we're going to finally roll the dice per round. First things first, let's get to it. We've got a roll. We're going to be rolling first for the timing and the 12-sided die. So we're going to look at the black and the red to see where we're at. Let's see what the time of the match is. You can set your own time for these matches if you want, but the fun part of it, the randomness, is the length of the match determines how many rolls the quick play match is, and that can affect matches. That can affect the outcome. So let's roll it. So we roll it. We've got an 8 and a 4. Okay, so what do we know about an 8? Well, it's going to be a 15-minute match. All right, 15-minute match, and we're going to look. We're going to roll twice, actually, here for the power surge, but it's a 15-minute match. So let's go back here. 15-minute match. We're going to fill it in. That means there's going to be 2 rolls, with the second roll counting for a half rate. All right, so 15 minutes. Power surge. We know that Don Arnold has a 4. All right, so Don Arnold is a 4. So we look here with the 12-sided die, a 4. He gets 2 additional points. That means 2 additional points per roll. okay, he'll pick up 2 extra points. See, wrestler can use 1 surge star for each roll in the match. So we're going to go over here. We know that Don Arnold has a 2 right now. And we're going to roll for Skull Murphy. He gets an 11. So we go back to our chart. And 11 represents a 5-point swing. So he gets 5 points for his surge points. And he has 2 surges as well. So that is going to be a chance for Skull Murphy to pick up some valuable points here against Don Arnold. So 2 and 2 is what we're looking at as we put them down. And I like to keep these all uniform, so we'll just do that. Okay, so we've got our parameters. Now let's find out if there's any pre-match event that happens. So what do? We take our fan rating, 7. Skull Murphy's is a 6. That's 13. And we're going to take that 13 and add it to the base event outcome, which is 20. So 20 plus 13 is 33. So 33. If we get a 33 with our 2 10-sided dice, and our 10-sided dice are black and yellow, if we get over that, then it's not an event. But if we get between 1 and 33, a pre-match event has occurred. Let's see. The lead die is black. It's 53, so there is no event that happened. So we're just going to put an X there, and we're ready to go. Now, what did we say about this match? We're going to take this, and we're going to roll twice. The first time's a full rating. The second time will be a half rating for each. All right? So we've got Don Arnold, and we've got Skull Murphy. We're going to roll them at the same time. Remember, we said that Arnold is the blue, and Skull Murphy is the green. Here we go. Okay, so Arnold rolls a 1. That's it. He just gets a 1 added to his rating. No event happened, so he gets a 1. So he's got 35. His base number plus 1 is 36. But remember, he gets 2 points for the surge. Okay? 2 points for the surge. Now, we were wrong with Skull Murphy. 2 points. So added to that is a total of 38. 38 is what he gets, Don Arnold. All right, Skull Murphy now. He's the green. He rolls a 6. All right. And he gets 6 added to his score. So you look at his now. He gets 27 plus 6 is 33. 33 plus the 5 for the surge protector. The surge star he gets. So 33 plus 5 is 38. We got a tie. Now we're going to roll again the second time, and this will end the match in the 15 minutes. Here we go. This time, Don Arnold rolls a 10. So he gets a 10 plus his 35 is 45. 45. But remember, he gets 2 points for the surge over here, which now gives him 47. 47. Now, Skull Murphy has a 27, adds 3. That gives him 30. 27 plus 3 is 30, plus the 5 is 35. So what do we know about the outcome? Well, I'm sure you're going to know automatically. Don Arnold, despite the scare, is going to be victorious by points. By points right now. But the final outcome is this. 85, you take 85 Arnold's points versus minus the 73. It's a difference of 12. 12-point difference. So now we come over here to our chart to find out what the result is. There's a 12 difference. So in a 15-point match, 15-minute match, 12 points is the difference. 12 to 14 points. Is it a disqualification? Let's find out. It could be a DQ win. Could be for Don Arnold. So let's get to it. So we go to disqualification. We got to roll even or odd. even or odd, so we're going to use the black die and see what happens. We're going to look at the odd chart. Here we go. Odd chart here. All right. So we're looking at the odd chart. Now we're looking at 4 6s. Now I got to go in here because guess what, guys? I did not set up the D6s. So we got to set them up. Let's set them up right now with 4 D6s. We're going to do that right now. Let's take all of these off here right now so we don't get confused. All right. And we are going to set these up. 6, 6, 6, everything base 1, and 6 up here. Okay, base 1, show. All right, sorry about that. Should have had that set up, but there we go. Our 4 dice. We're going to roll to see what the outcome is of the match. It's a disqualification. And did Don Arnold win or lose? Let's find out. So here we go. We add them up. 12 and 9 is 21. It says, just as the wrestler is winning, a brutal attack ensues by a gang of wrestlers, and the match is halted, DQ to the opponent. So that's how he wins. Don Arnold does win the fight, but it was because Skull Murphy was winning. So that's what happens here. So we're going to write it down. Skull Murphy, as it says, let's just double check here. It says, just as a wrestler is winning, a brutal attack ensues by a gang of wrestlers and the match is halted, DQ to the opponent. DQ to the opponent. So disqualification actually goes to the opponent. I read it wrong. No, that is going to Skull Murphy. So that's what happens. Just as he's winning, so Don Arnold's winning the match, but a brutal attack ensues, and it's halted. Wow. Okay. DQ. Skull Murphy. Don Arnold winning. Gang attacks Murphy. DQ win. Skull Murphy. Wow. So that's what happens. Surprise, surprise, surprise. So Don Arnold was winning the match, as we know, 85-73, but then a gang comes and attacks him. Why, I don't know, and therefore Skull Murphy wins. Now what we're going to do now is check to see. We did a pre-match. We're going to do a post-match. Remember, 33 is that fan rating combined. If indeed it is over 33, nothing will happen. Otherwise, we've got ourselves an event. Let's take a look. Again, we're using the black and the yellow. Black leads. 1-1, there's an event. So we've got a post-event, needless to say, the start of a storyline. Let's go to post-a-match. We got to go back here and roll our 24s. I got to do this yet. Sorry, we got to show these. We're just going to show that we can show all of these die. We know it's all the white and the blue. Here we go. We've got 9, 6 and 6 is 12, 16. Chaos breaks out, and all wrestlers from the event now storm the ring and fight each other. Commissioner orders a battle royal at the next event. So needless to say, there's chaos, of which you would expect it. Chaos in the ring. All wrestlers battle. Commish orders battle royal. Okay, there we go. So there's how it plays. I know it's a lot longer, and hopefully it's clear and how it works. But very, very simply put, that's how you roll. Actually, to be honest with you, we did something wrong, and you didn't catch me. That number's got to be taken in half. So you've got to take, because remember, it was half of that for a 15-minute time limit. So 47 divided by 2. 23, we'll give them the benefit of the doubt, make it 24. 35 divided by 2 is going to be 18. So there's your final outcome of the match. Don Arnold seemingly victorious, but loses by a DQ count. So that's how it plays quick play pro wrestling. We will pick this up after this brief timeout. We'll take a commercial break. We'll be back with the next match. Bronco Nema versus the Hangman Alan Page. And welcome back to Fordyce Wrestling Quick Play Edition. I'm Kevin Elias. It's time for match number 2. Bronco Nema versus the Hangman. Hopefully now it should roll a little quicker. I know it took a little much in the early explanation, but a lot of people just don't know how quick play works. So we're going to go to it. First of all, we've got to roll for the timing of the match. The timing, here we go. It's going to be the black die. We got a 6. A 6 will represent a 20-minute time limit. That means 2 rolls. The second one will be a full roll. So it's going to be a 20-minute time limit. Let's mark it down. 20 minutes. All right. Let's look at the surge values of each wrestler. And what we're looking at here is the 2. Let's look at the ratings. We didn't look at those real quick. Bronco Nema is a 25, so he's an average, a little bit above a mid-jobber, if you will. Adam Page is a 36, so he's going to be a mid-card main event kind of person. What does that mean? It means Bronco Nema is going to be fighting under the auspices of the, he's going to be fighting under the green die. He's going to be going with the green die. He has 1 surge. Adam Page has 3 surges. And he'll be fighting under the blue die. So we're looking at blue and green again. All right. Blue and green. And Adam Page has 3 surges, so let's roll. Adam Page is going to have a 2 and Bronco Nema a 10. So let's look at this. A 2 and a 10. 2 and a 10 on their chart. So just 1 point. 1 point for Adam Page. And Nema's going to get 4. So that's going to be significant. 1 and 4. So let's go ahead and mark this down here. 1 surge for 4 surges for Nema, 1 for Adam Page, 2 rolls for the match. And we're going to roll. Remember, we're looking at the blue and the red. Blue and the green. Remember, if it hits the top, the green, if it gets to a 12, or the blue gets to a 20, that's that automatic opportunity for the finisher, which could ultimately finish the match. Let's get the first roll. We've got a 9 and a 5. So we're going to do Nema first. He gets a 5. Scores a 5. So he's going to get a 5. A 5. 25 plus 5 is 30. 30 plus his 1 surge, so 31, and he's out of surges. All right, 31. We didn't do something, and I'm going to get back to it, but let's get Adam Page first. He rolls a 9, so 36 plus 9 is 45. 45 plus is 3. He gets only 1 for the surge, so 36 plus 9 is 45 plus 1 is 46. 46 there. What we didn't do is the pre-roll, so let's do that pre-roll, if we will. What we're looking at is Nema was a 5 and Hangman a 7. That's 12. 12 plus 20 is 32. So 32 on the black and the yellow die. 32, it's got to be within for a pre-match. And it's not at 66. So we're good there. Let's go to the second roll, the second part of the match, if we will. All right. And let's roll it. 4 and 11. So 11, that's good score by NIMA. 11, 25 and 11 is 36. 36, but he doesn't get the surge because he's out of surges. So 36 points, not a bad round for him for the second half of the match. For Adam Page, he gets a 4. So you take 36 plus 4 is 40 and add the 1, 41. And that's the end of the match. Let's add up the scores and see where we're at. 87-67, that's a 20-point swing. Let's go to our match total here for a 20-minute match. It's a 20-point total, so it's going to be an unusual event. Unusual event. All right, so we're going to look at the unusual event and see what happens there. We've got to get into our rules of the unusual event. Let's go through that real quick. I think we're going to be drawing a playing card on here for that. Since we're on the unusual event, we'll draw that first. Let's see here. Unusual event. Okay, if the result comes up as an unusual event, which it did, we have an unusual event. All right, the first thing you're going to do is flip a playing card. So let's get our playing cards out here. Playing card is going to be right, well, it was here, but we're going to have to find it here. Let's see here. Let's see, Lewis playing. There we go. Dice roller. I like to use the Lewis dice rollers. He does a fine job. He created a nice playing card app for me, and there's our playing cards. So we're going to flip a card. If it comes up 2s or aces, it's going to refer to the in-match chart. If it's 3 through 6s, it's going to be a controversial win and an automatic roll on the post chart. And if it's 7 through kings, it's going to be an unusual event chart to find out what the roll is. So that's how we're going to figure it out. So let's roll. We're going to flip the card. It's an 8, so it's going to go under the unusual result chart. Unusual result chart. So, of course, we have those. If you look here, we have those. We have 2 unusual event charts. Of course, they're 1 and 2, so that's going to be even and odd. So we're going to roll the dice. In this case, whatever the black comes up, that's what we're going to roll on. Even is black, odd is 2. And it's going to be an even. So we're going to look at the unusual event chart 1, roll our 4 dice down here, and find out what happens. 8, 12, 14. Unusual event. Referee struck during the move. Knocked out while in control wrestler. Can't get the count. Oh my. So, that means Adam Page is in control, but he can't get the count. So the referee knocked out. Ref knocked out during count. And what happens here? Let's go back to the chart. This is going to be a reroll. This is going to be a reroll indeed. Referee struck during the move. Knocked out while the in-control wrestler, Adam Page, cannot get the count. 2 to 6. 11 to 12, the match continues. 7 to 10, the match is over. All right. Well, we're not going to have a reroll because this is the quick play game. So, here's how we're going to play it. If it's 7 to 10, the match ends. Okay. The match will end. There will be no winner on 7 to 10. If it's 2 to 6, 11 to 12, the match continues. He'll get the win. So here we go. We will roll. We roll the 24 dice. So we'll roll these dice again. Actually, 2 dice. The 2 6-sided. So we'll look at the 2 white and see what happens here. We got 10. 10. So 10 says 7 to 10, the match is over. We have no referee, no contest. It's over. No one to count them out. No count equals no match or winner. No match or winner. So that's the way it goes. That is called unusual. All right, that's quick play. So what is quick play intended to do, to be honest with you? Think of it as old-time wrestling. It's TV wrestling. They're shorter fights. They're meant to build characters, build personalities, build wins and loss totals for your good wrestlers, and create storylines. Okay, let's go to the post-match real quick to see if we have anything. Again, it's 12 plus 20 is 32. Let's see with our black and yellow, do we have anything? No, 77. So the match is over. No winner here. So 2 matches. We've got chaos in the first fight that caused a reversal and Don Arnold to get disqualified. In the second match, Bronco Nema survives Adam Page because the referee gets knocked out. Wow. All right, let's go. Hacksaw Butch Reed now taking on Perry Saturn. All right, they're both in the 30s. So let's get to it. First of all, we've got to look at the timing of the match. 8. 8 for the timing. Let's go back to the main chart. 8. We've got ourselves a 15-minute time limit again. So 15 minutes, that means that second roll will be a half. All right. They're both in the 30s in terms of, let's roll for their surges. They each have a 3. Perry Saturn does not have a 5. He has a 2. No one has 5s in 4-dice wrestling. 4 is the best you can do. He has a 5 fan rating. All right, so 3-2. Here we go. We're looking at this. 3-2. We're looking at the red. We've got a 5 for Butch Reed. And a 12 for Perry Saturn. 5 and a 12. Let's look at it. 5 is worth 2. 12 is worth 5. 2 and 5. Wow. 2 and 5. So, Butch Reed will get 2 points per surge each of the 2 minutes. Perry Saturn will get 5 points. Now, we do not divide those numbers in half because, remember, that would be double dipping. We're going to take them when we divide the total number for their score in that second half of the match. All right, so let's look at now match totals. Here we go. Of course, as you know, they're both going to be 20-sided die, so they're both going to be using the blue. So we're going to just simply roll twice. But before we do that, let's look at our pre-match. Did anything happen? 6 and 5 is 11 plus 20. That's 31. So 1 to 31, something happens. 75, nothing. So nothing in the pre-match in this fight. All right. Let's roll again. Here we go. We're looking at the blue die only. Okay. Butch Reed has a 13. So he rolls a 13. 33 and 13 is 46. Remember, he gets 2 points for the surge. That is 48. 48 for Butch Reed. On the other side, we've got Perry Saturn, who gets a 5. Draws a 5. So he gets a 5. So that is going to be 32 plus 5 is 37. 37 plus 5, 42. So we got a good match. Butch Reed, though, still leads, but he's got the match. Okay, so let's go to the second half of the match. The second roll. Remember, it's going to ultimately drop to half rate. 19, that's a nice one. 19 for Reed, that's 33, that's 43, 52. 52 plus is 2, that's 54 total. All right, 54. Now I'll just do it on a calculator so you see we got to divide that in half. So that becomes a 27 for the round. All right, and now Perry Saturn is going to roll. He rolls a 4. So 4, 32 plus 4 is 36. 36 plus 5. 36 plus 5 is 41. 41 divided by 2 is 20 and a half, so they'll give him 21. So there's your outcome. Let's add them up. No, I'm sorry. 21. There we go. So 75-63 is the final outcome here. That is a 12-point difference. So let's go to our chart for a 15-minute match. 12-point difference is a DQ. We got a DQ again. Let's see what happens. We've got to roll it. Let's roll on the DQ. What are we going to roll? Even or odd? Look at our black die. We're going odd this time. So we're going to go to the odd DQ, and we're going to roll the bottom 4. See what happens. All 6 is 24. Gross misconduct DQ for behavior after the pin attempt. Whoa! Gross misconduct. What in the world does that mean? I'm going to highlight and copy to save us some time. What in the world does that mean? Butch Reed has it, but what does that mean? That's the question. Oh my. Could he be disqualified? I mean, he's the one that would have got the pin. Let's go back to the chart. We're going to roll the 2 dice, the 2 white there. 2 to 5 and 12, the lead wrestlers DQ'd. 6 to 11, the opponent. Here we go. 5. Lead wrestler is disqualified. Oh my gosh. So Butch Reed is disqualified. Amazing, amazing, amazing. Let's go to the post-match. We're looking at a 11. We're looking at a 31. We don't get it. So 3 matches, none of them end with a clean win. Short matches, but this time Perry Saturn gets the win. Perry Saturn is victorious with the win because Butch Reed, did he expose himself? That's the question I ask. And finally, it's time now for the main event. California Comet, WILBUR SNYDER against Bam Bam Terry Gordy. Let's get to it. They're both in their 30s. That makes it easier. Let's look at the time of the match. It's a 10. It's a 10, so that should be a longer match. It's going to be a 10-minute time limit. Oh, my gosh. We probably won't have a victor in this one either. It's too short of a match. All right, surges. Actually, Snyder's a 3. I had it backwards there. 8. So let's look, and it's 2 and 7. All right, let's look at it. Here we go. Real quick. Rolling the red. 11 for Snyder, 2 for Gordy. 11 and 2. So 11, he's going to get 5, and he's going to get 1. Wow, 5 and 1. 5 and 1 is all she wrote. But remember, there's only one roll for a 10-minute match. So they're going to get that add-on, and that's going to be it. So Snyder was going to have an advantage, it would seem. Let's look at the pre-match. You got 8 and 7, that's 15 plus the 20, that's 35. 1 to 35, there's a pre-match event. And there is not. So we've got nothing there. We had nothing in that one. All right, so here we go. Let's roll. So they're both in their 30s, so we're going to be looking at the 7 column. 1. That's going to hurt Snyder. He only gets 1, so that's going to be a 37 plus his 5. 42. That's it. 42. Gordy rolls a 4. So 33 plus 4 is 37, but he only gets 1, which gives him a 38. There's your match, folks. In a 10-minute match, 42-38, but guess what? You're saying, oh, there's nothing to it. It's lackluster. But now there's only a 4 difference. Because it's a 10-minute match, that's going to be tight. Look at this. 10-minute match tied if there's a 5-point difference or less. It's a draw. So as I told you, I didn't think something would happen here because it was too short of a match, just like it would be when you have 2 combatants going at it in a 10-minute TV match. Draw. A 10-minute draw. Let's look just to see if there's a post-match event. That would be 15 plus the 20. That would be 35. 46, no post-match event. So, in your first ever quick play video showdown here on YouTube, Don Arnold was defeating Skull Murphy in the opener, only to be disqualified by chaos in the ring. Bronco Nema was going to get beat, but Adam Page was so violent, or I should say aggressive, that the referee gets knocked out. There's no one to count him out. He had Nema. 1, 2, 3, you could have counted to 20. But instead, there's no winner. Hacksaw Butch Reed had a win. He was going to pin Perry Saturn. And what happens? He gets DQ'd for gross misconduct behavior in a match. He loses. And finally, in the main event, California Comet Wilbur Snyder and Bam Bam Terry Gordy battled to a 10-minute draw. And this has been Quick Play Wrestling for the 4Dice Pro Wrestling game. The next time out, we'll show you how to add timing into your matches.